Hello, my name is Cheyenne Nelson, and my presentation is titled Technology Now Replacing Sleep. Andrew Brown once said, "The internet is so big, so powerful, and pointless that for some people it is a complete substitute for life." I thought this was a good quote to build a foundation upon because it basically constructs my main point. In our society, we are so attached to our phones, to the internet, to Facebook, text messaging, Snapchat, all of these things, that we are forgetting to stop and enjoy the finer things in life. We are so fast paced, we're so caught up on what the latest news is and who's posting on Facebook that we really aren't focusing and taking care of ourselves. So this helps kind of get us started in what my main topic is going to be as far as how is technology affecting our sleep. Let's take a look at our society and our so-called wellness. Society has adapted some poor sleeping habits, such as watching TV in bed, talking or texting on the phone while in bed, or things such as staying up late and waking up really early. Then we look to remedies to make up for that sleep that we're losing, such as alcohol consumption, over-the-counter sleep aids, or eating more at dinner times so we have a full stomach so we have a full slumber. All of these remedies, on top of losing sleep, is damaging to our health. We then have technology. Is it leading to wellness or wellness? Society has this idea that we need to be healthy and fit, but technology is still playing a big part. We have all of these fitness apps and calculators, and then we have fitness tools such as the Fitbit or Garmin VivoFit. With all these tools and no proper sleep, we really aren't getting anywhere. So what it boils down to is too much technology and not enough physical activity is what's really damaging and hindering our growth and wellness. Society, the city that never sleeps. Combined, these poor sleep habits and the influence of technology is what's causing us to lose all this sleep. When we do lose the sleep, we don't really realize all the effects that it has on the body. Our social skills are affected. Communication with others is altered because since when we're lacking sleep, we're kind of grumpy and we're being a poor listener when we talk to someone else. Mentally, poor sleep results in poor mental performance. We aren't operating at top peak performance all the time. And this can be either at work or in school. Physically, when the body does not get enough rest, the body tends to be more susceptible to infections and health issues. So when you look at that perspective from a teacher, when their student in class doesn't get enough sleep at night, they're not functioning well in class. They can't listen or they're falling asleep. You look at an employer, and when you're working, your employees are falling asleep at their desk, forgetting to do tasks. All of these things are just evolved from us not getting enough sleep or being too focused on technology. So developing awareness will help initiate the process of change. In this change, this will help us lead to a healthier lifestyle and better overall wellness. At this point, many of you ask, what's the issue? The main issue is that individuals who are exposed to higher amounts of technology, especially close to bedtime, have statistically shown to have poor sleep quality, which leads to further health issues. A sleep study that was conducted revealed that intensive use of cell phones and computers can be linked to an increase in stress, sleep disorders, and depressive symptoms in young adults. So let's look at the 5 W's. The who, what, when, where, and why. So who? Who is ultimately affected? Well, adolescents, parents, teachers, employers, and employees, so essentially all of us. So what exactly is technology doing to our sleep habits? Studies have shown that technological devices may cause hyperarousal that interferes with our healthy sleep initiation, so we can't fall asleep at night. So when are the effects noticed? The effects are generally noticed before bedtime because we can't fall asleep, or during the night because we aren't sleeping or we're waking up in the middle of the night, or even during the day when we're slugging around and we have poor motor skills and we can't really function very well. So, where do we see the side effects? We see the side effects in our work performance. When we can't function at work, we're getting bad reviews, our bosses are kind of riding our back. We see the effects in our schoolwork. We can't function in school when we can't understand the material that we're reading. So, without sleep, our brains become foggy, our moods become cranky, and our workplace productivity goes downhill, all in all. Why are these effects happening? Well, the artificial light from TV and computer screens affects melatonin production and throws off our natural sleep rhythms, which is preventing deep, restorative sleep. Now let's get down to the science. In a sleep study, 12 adolescent good sleepers, aged 14 to 18, spent 3 consecutive nights in a sleep laboratory of the Center for Sleep Research. They had 2 baseline nights with 10-hour sleep opportunities and 1 night of total sleep deprivation. Every 2 hours during wakefulness, they completed the profile of mood states. Moods across 2 baseline days was compared to the mood at the same time, following the 1 night without sleep. Results said that the subscales of depression, anger, confusion, anxiety, and fatigue were compared across the days. All mood states significantly worsened following 1 night without sleep. So the sleep study is kind of interesting because we generally lose more than 1 night of sleep a week. Personally, me being in school, working full time, I tend to lose several nights of sleep. Looking at this sleep study and how 1 night of sleep deprivation affected these adolescents, comparing to my personal life of losing 2 to 3 nights of sleep a week, is really shocking. Showing that the signs of anger, depression, and anxiety in just one day really made me want to change my own habits and my own self. So, this leads to our next step of mental disorders. Depression and anxiety are significant mental disorders. If we can link these back to sleep deprivation and link that to technology as well, we can kind of see where our society is headed. Gender roles come into play because in the same sleep study, females were examined separately. Females showed a greater vulnerability to mood deficits following sleep loss, with greater depressed mood and anxiety following sleep deprivation. So it kind of shows that female are more sensitive to sleep deprivation and the side effects that come along with it. So we can kind of compare women in sleep deprivation and men in sleep deprivation and kind of look at how we are really ultimately affected. And this could lead into further research as do females need more sleep than men? So kind of interesting just to kind of view these different sleep studies. In 2006, the Sleep in America poll was conducted to see how much technology we were really exposed to. So when this poll was done in 2006, 97% of teens had at least one technological device in their bedroom. Personally, I feel that this is outrageous. When I was growing up, we had one TV in the house and that was it. So to look at this poll from 2006, it's kind of interesting. So 90% of these surveyed teens had MP3 players in their bedroom, while 57% of them had TVs in their bedroom. Two technological devices are found most common in these rooms, and we're wondering why our children aren't sleeping at night. Well, we can kind of look, two and two and put it together, and we kind of get a good idea. 42% of the teens had cell phone, while 28% of them had computers, and at least 21% of them had internet access. Now, if the poll was conducted in 2012, let's say, or 2013, I feel that these numbers will be blown even more out of the water. I feel that since 2006, internet access has become a must, as we mentioned before. Even computers or the cell phone. Almost all of us have these technological devices at this point. So it's kind of interesting to see the trend that is formed as we are losing more sleep and technology is becoming a bigger part of our life. After looking at all the factors and all the side effects that technology has on our overall wellness, what can we really do about it? When it comes to distancing ourselves from technology, small changes are going to lead to big results. Unplug yourself. This means don't use technology within an hour of going to sleep, or set certain times for adolescents to use technology, or even don't have a TV in your bedroom for use at night. One could try reading at night instead of TV so that your body can properly develop melatonin for sleep. Have children play outside instead of inside with technology so they can naturally burn off energy so they are tired and want to go to bed. Or even read a physical book instead of a Kindle so you aren't exposed to the artificial light. There's an app for that, that common phrase that we always say. Apps such as Time Away or Dinner Time help parents control adolescents' screen time so they aren't exposed to too much. So parents can use these on children to make sure they aren't using technology while they're away or when they're supposed to be sleeping. They can boil it down to you get 4 hours, in this time block and maybe only 30 minutes in this time block, whatever they want to set it as. Creating awareness is going to be our main tool to start the process of this change. We could address this in a PTA meeting and say that children that are exposed to too much TV time or screen time during the day aren't focusing and aren't sleeping at night. Workplaces with technology could adopt schedules that are friendly to the possible disrupted sleep patterns that come from constantly working on technology. Physicians' offices, doctors can request that patients coming in for sleep aids try to distance themselves from technology before bedtime during the day. This could be more beneficial than sleep pills. From the perspective of a manager, I would explain during wellness meetings the facts of technology and poor sleep habits. I could also explain the effects in the workplace and how it affects the employee's job and others around them. If we all work together and make small changes for the better, we're all going to move as a group towards distancing ourselves from technology and being healthier overall. So I'd like to end with this quote that Viktor Frankl once said: "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." So this reiterates what I said before. We have to make those small changes to become a better version of ourselves. References are listed. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that you all enjoyed my presentation.